Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your March 2024 Astro-Tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign, but if you're only going to watch one, make sure it's for your ascendant. It's going to be that much more accurate for you on that day-to-day level. I use whole sign tropical Western astrology. With that said, remember, if I ever forget to mention the dates or anything like that, you'll be able to find all of that in the link in the description box below. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So if you would like to get your personal reading with me, you can do so on the links in the description box below. And this month's course offering is all about the court cards. So if you have ever wanted to really delve in deep into all of the court cards energies and really get a good understanding of not just who they can show up as, but the kinds of experiences and all that good stuff, then this course is absolutely for you. So the first transit that I want to explore for you, or for everybody, but for you, it's happening so on the 8th of March, Mars in the sign of Aquarius in your third house of communications conversations is going to square Uranus in Taurus, right? So this is between your third house and your sixth house. This is going to push you, it's going to be the push that you need to clean up your daily habits and routines, right? So Mars rules for you your fifth house of pleasure, romance, but it's also a very sporty space in the chart as well. So this could be like a new health regime, etc. But there's a lot to be said about work here as well, right? There could be clashes on the ground level when it comes to works and potentially even fast developments in the workplace. This is quite an explosive combination. So it's energy, you know, on one level, you'll be deciding, you know what, I'm not having this experience again. So you might go ham at sort of fixing it. Communications are likely to be strained at this time, and you know, maybe you require more freedom than you in order to get everything done, whereas someone could really be grating on you, and it's almost like someone's trying to point out every little flaw that you've got. And this could be a somewhat, you know, explosive you know, happening. With this, you've got the 10 of Cups, but the outcome is secure. That much we know, all right? You've got this with the Knight of Cups. This could be a fast development, and you've got this with the 5 of Cups. So, you know, in order to take one opportunity, we have to close down others. This feels like that might be the case for you, right? So it's very possible here that maybe there is, and it might be even through the work, right? So maybe you get offered something through your job, through your work, etc. And then very quickly you realize, I'm not going to be able to go in for this after all. It could also be that something is given to you and then taken back on the work front, and maybe, just maybe, it's that you commit to something and then very quickly realize, like, hang on a sec, I haven't got the time, the space, or even the bandwidth at the moment to deal with this. So, you know, there's a few ways that it can go. What I can tell you with the 10 of Cups and the Knight of Cups, outside of any offers, the hard work that you're doing will pay off, all right? Now, on the 14th of the month, on the 14th of the month, the moon is going to conjunct Uranus. This is a big deal because also at the same time, Jupiter is in the sign of Taurus. So you've got this kind of triple conjunction. Now the moon and Uranus are going to be at like 20 degrees, whereas Jupiter will be at like 13. So it's a 7-degree orb, but it's a pretty big energy in this 6th house. So there's a lot in this house about your habits, your body, your routines, your day-to-day experience. There's also a chance to look at, under the exalted moon, because the moon is exalted in the sign of Taurus, how you're caring for and maintaining your own personal sort of world sphere, right? So since Jupiter is in your 6th, and that is you, right? Jupiter is the ruler of you. It also rules your 4th house of home, family and property as well. It's a moment of coming back to what supports your own health and your personal vitality. And the moon rules your 8th house of Cancer, right? So it's like there could be undercurrents at this time, and it's like, what can you do in order to advance yourself in some way? It's probably bringing your attention to where maybe the burdens and the challenges are, and more importantly, maybe it's showing you on an intuitive level that you can feel your way through all of this. You got this with the Queen of Wands, so you've got to set your boundaries. You got this with the Six of Wands, that's very nice. And you've got this with the Queen of Pentacles. So 2 queens represent sincere friends, right? So you might have to either lay or hold a boundary with a friend. That's possible. But it's like if you have what you consider to be a hard conversation because it's with somebody that you care about, that Six of Wands means that it has the desired effect. What it also suggests, because the Six of Wands, the Six of Wands is actually a very day-to-day level card. It's you know, it's victory and success for sure, but it's about really celebrating the small wins. So this is, I think, actually, you know, maybe you and a friend kind of talking something out and saying, wow, you know, we did that in a really mature or sort of collected kind of way. And it is also, because all of this happens in your 6th house, this might even be a colleague or somebody that you have worked with or alongside or maybe had problems with, that you guys reach what we would consider like a happy medium of some sort. So that could be really nice. Now, on the 17th, the Sun is going to conjunct Neptune, right? All of this in the sign of Pisces, which for you occupies the 4th house. This is a very spiritual energy, and since you have a lot of spiritual energy and spirituality within you, this could be a really powerful, great time of great wisdom that comes through this space. You could be demonstrating extreme emotional courage at this time. You could be really showing a lot of emotional, not even control, like emotional mastery, I would say, right? It's in your 4th house of home and family, so there's definitely going to be an element of that. The Sun for you rules your 9th house of religion, spirituality, you know, foreign travel, all of those things. And in the 4th house, for some of you, this could be a trip or a journey that you take that makes you feel like, holy shit, I feel more at home here than I've ever felt anywhere, right? That's one way that this could show up, but it could just as easily be, this could be like there's some kind of deep soul healing that happens here on a very emotional level. And it could be that a conversation that you have with a family member or, you know, like with a family member, with somebody that you would consider like someone that you look up to, maybe they say something to you that has such a deep, profound effect. And look, it's Neptune in Pisces, so this could come with tears, but they could be the kind of tears that truly are very healing. And remember, the 8th house and the 9th house both represent healing, just in very different ways. 9th house healing is where it, you know, it enlightens you in some way. Since this is in the 4th house, as I said, I feel like it will come through a family member or somebody that you feel like a genuine kinship to. So I love that. With this, you've got the 7 of Swords. So releasing the lies that you tell yourself. And I know that you're releasing it because you've got the 10 of Swords here as well. So this is something that you once believed, something that you once took on board. Remember, the Sun rules your 9th house of beliefs, higher wisdom, all of that stuff. With Neptune, it's like Neptune's washing away some belief that has probably been quite destructive or held you back in some regard. And then look, you've got these 2 sevens, right? The 2 hardest 7s, I might add. So 2 sevens represents news. This is a piece of information, something that's shared with you by a family member that has a very powerful and extremely profound effect on how you move forward from here. And that 10 of Swords, it's like this is where it ends. So some story that you've told yourself, some narrative that is in your familial history, all of that kind of stuff is going away. So love that for you. And then on the 21st of the month, you've got Saturn coming in. So the Sun will be in Aries at that point. You've got Saturn. One day I'll tell you the story of that and why I find it so funny. You've got you've got Venus conjunct Saturn in the sign of Pisces in your 4th house. Venus is work energy for you, right? Because it's your 6th and your 11th house ruler, which means you could feel like upgrading your life in some way. But it's like she softens the edges and the heaviness of Saturn, right? Asking him to kind of give you a bit of a break. So Saturn is your money and your communications because it rules the 2nd house and the 3rd house, right? So this could be like, there's a chance that you're having a lot to do, or you're thinking about upgrading your self-worth and your values, and maybe a conversation around a home matter that has a financial slant to it. So either way, I think it's a blessing because Venus sweetens the deal wherever she goes, but it might be where you kind of just look at the home life situation and say, okay, you know what, I'm going to stay where I am for now. So if you had plans to move, or you thought you were going to do that, it might be that you decide to sort of dig in and stick it in for, you know, certainly for now. So you've got the Queen of Swords. This is sort of weighing up the options. You've got this with the Judgment card. There is a final call that needs to be made. And then you've got the Temperance card, which is you, because the Temperance card is Sagittarius. So it's like this month, certainly around the 21st, you're making a really big decision about your living situation. And it might be that this requires a contract or some kind of official documentation in order to get that sorted. Another way that this could also show up is because you've got the Temperance card, this can be some kind of really, again, profound healing that takes place, but it would be also potentially messages around a family member's health for the long term. For your lunations, you have, so I can't remember the date of the Pisces new moon. I'm really sorry, I can't. It will be in the description though. Your Pisces new moon, that's lunar, and the sun, new moon in the 4th house, right? So a reboot of your emotional energies, but also a reboot of your home life, right? So again, like whatever decision you're making this month, I think that you're going to get really clear on whether you're staying where you are or whether you're moving on. This could also, because even though it's a new moon, I do feel like, because the 4th house can sometimes be what we call end of the matter, I do feel like this might wrap up a very large cycle for some of you. This might be a moment at which you kind of step back and say, oh, you know, in terms of all of this familial stuff, I actually feel free. When it comes to the card that you've got, the Gate 56 and Storyteller, the stories that you have collected from and through your family, the storehouse of knowledge that you are because of your familial ties, connections and interactions will be very prominent for you around this new moon. And then your full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Libra. I know this one because it's my mother's birthday, and this is in your 11th house, right? So 11th house of friendship, social circles, group networks, etc. Maybe you're breaking ties with you know, a friendship circle, but maybe you're taking your connections to a community of some sort to a whole new level. Maybe you're sharing something with the world in a really big way and putting it out there that has you know, that connection, community kind of feel to it. And because it is an eclipse, it might happen in a way that you either don't expect, or maybe because it is a full moon lunar eclipse, maybe it's like you, let's say you launch something, you get a whole bunch of sign-ups and then only 4 people turn up. Later on though, you know, a few weeks, maybe even months down the line, you have a massive influx of people. It's like whatever you started this thing with is not what it's going to continue with. And for this, you've got the Gate 4 and Answer. This is not a prediction card, it's an instruction, and its message is basically ask the question that you have, formulate that, throw it out into the universe, and wait for the answer to come back to you from the very real or tangible world. With that said, if you would like to book a reading with me, you can do so on the link in the description box below. Whether it's tarot, astrology, numerology, or energy work, we can do all of it. And I will see you soon. Take care and let me know in the comments how it shapes up.